Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It was supposed to be a quiet, respectful exit, a graceful fade into the Genoa city sunset for one of the young and the restless, most enduring figures. Instead, the soap opera that built its reputation on family dynasties and interwoven legacies has chosen to close the chapter with what many fans are calling a parting insult, a deliberate dismantling of both a legacy character's dignity and the cherished family they represent. The move has sparked an uproar online, with message boards lighting up, hashtags trending, and longtime viewers questioning if the show has forgotten its own DNA, the legacy at stake for decades. The insert character's family name, for example, the Williams family, the Chancellors, or the Abbotts, if we fictionalize one slightly, have been part of the bedrock of Y&R. They're woven into the fabric of Genoa City, a lineage marked by triumphs, tragedies, and enough love triangles to fill a textbook on soap tropes. The character at the center of this storm, let's call her Margaret, Maggie Harwood, has been on and off the canvas for years. Played by a beloved daytime vet, Maggie has carried some of the show's most emotional storylines. She battled heartbreak, fought for her family's fortune when corporate vultures circled, and endured personal loss after personal loss with quiet strength. She wasn't flashy. She wasn't constantly front burner, but she represented a moral compass, the voice of reason when younger generations spiraled into chaos. The exit fans weren't ready for when word first leaked that Maggie's time in Genoa City was coming to an end. Fans braced for bittersweet closure. They envisioned heartfelt goodbyes, meaningful callbacks to her history. Perhaps even a final gathering in her iconic family home, where old photos and mementos would serve as a tribute to her legacy. Instead, the writing took a hard left turn. Maggie's last storyline reduced her to a scapegoat for a corporate scandal, one she didn't cause and actively tried to prevent. Instead of being vindicated, she was railroaded out of town under a cloud of suspicion. Worse yet, the show allowed side characters with barely a fraction of her history to sling accusations, belittle her judgment, and suggest that maybe Genoa City has outgrown her. One online fan summed it up in a post that went viral among Y&R watchers. They didn't just write her off. They wrote her out like she never mattered. Maggie deserved a rocking chair on the Chancellor lawn, not a kick in the back as she's shoved into a cab. Salt in the wound, the family fallout. As if tarnishing Maggie's reputation wasn't enough, the fallout hit her family just as hard. Her grandson, a fan-favorite younger character, who was finally being groomed for front-burner status, was given a rapid-fire storyline in which he turned on his grandmother. The rift happened almost overnight, with barely any screen time showing his inner conflict. One week he was praising her wisdom. The next he was publicly siding with her enemies. By the time Maggie's farewell episode aired, not a single family member stood by her. The Harwood home, a set that's been part of the show for decades, was written as sold off screen, with no sentimental goodbye scene. It felt, too many viewers, like the writers weren't just writing out a character, they were erasing an entire branch of Y&R history. The fans clapped back if Y&R thought they could slide this one past without a reaction. They underestimated the power of soap fans. Social media blew up within minutes of the final scene airing. Tweets ranged from devastated to furious. This is character assassination. Maggie would never just slink away without clearing her name. Lazy writing. They've erased the Harwoods. What's next? Bulldozing the Abbott mansion. Y&R just told every longtime fan, we don't matter. Message received. Fan petitions began circulating, calling for Maggie's name to be cleared, even if she's not on screen to see it. Others demanded her eventual return for a redemption arc. Soap blogs and recap sites published op-eds mourning the show's shift away from honoring legacy families. Some even drew comparisons to The Bold and the Beautiful's periodic tendency to drop long-term characters without ceremony, a trend daytime viewers universally loathed. Behind the scenes, insiders whisper that the abrupt, undignified send-off may have more to do with backstage politics than story needs. The actress playing Maggie reportedly opted not to renew her contract, but sources say she was willing to film an extended farewell arc. Instead, the decision was made to wrap her story in just a handful of episodes, freeing up airtime for newer, younger characters. Whether it was a budget decision, a creative shakeup, or a personal rift between actor and showrunner, the end result feels like a choice made in haste and at the expense of the show's own long-term Credibility. Why this hurts more than a typical exit. Soap fans are used to goodbyes. Characters leave, return, die dramatically, or get recast all the time. What makes Maggie's departure sting is the lack of acknowledgement for her decades of history. It's not just about one character. It's about the principle of honoring the legacy families that built Y&R's empire. The Harwoods may not have been the dominant powerhouse like the Newmans or the Abbotts in recent years, but their roots go deep in Genoa City's soil. By closing the chapter so abruptly, the show sent an unspoken message. Some legacies don't matter anymore. The ripple effect. I think fallout could extend beyond fan frustration. In soaps, legacy characters are more than nostalgia, they're connective tissue. Without them, the younger characters lose grounding. Maggie was often the bridge between old and new storylines. She had ties to business rivalries, family feuds, and romances that spanned generations. Removing her without care risks severing those connections entirely. It also puts younger characters at risk of floating in story isolation. The grandson who betrayed Maggie now has fewer family links anchoring him, a dangerous position for a soap newcomer. Viewers already see him as disloyal. Without the redemption arc Maggie could have provided, he may be doomed to fan disfavor. What could have been fans have been quick to share alternate endings they believe would have honored Maggie's place in Genoa City. Popular suggestions include a farewell gathering, a party at the Harwood home with flashbacks to Maggie's greatest moments, featuring returning cameos from old friends and family. A legacy passed down, Maggie officially handing the family business or heirloom to her grandson, signaling trust and continuity. A clear name, one last scene proving Maggie's innocence. With the real culprit exposed, a gentle goodbye, Maggie deciding on her own terms to retire to the family's lakeside property, leaving with her head held high. Any of these could have kept the emotional resonance fans crave, and left the door open for her return. Will Y&R course correct? It wouldn't be the first time a soap walked back a poorly received exit. Y&R has a history of resurrecting presumed dead characters, undoing scandals, and even retconning family histories to repair fan goodwill. The question is whether the current writing team sees the value in doing so for Maggie and the Harwoods. If the goal is to modernize the show and focus on younger characters, they may view this as a clean slate, even if it means alienating a core segment of their audience. Still, soaps thrive on drama both on screen and off. If fan outrage continues to trend, the pressure may mount for the show to right what many see as a wrong. The last word as it stands. Maggie Harwood's final moment in Genoa City is a tearful glance back at her empty home before stepping into a cab, no family to see her off, no vindication, no tribute, just an unceremonious exit for a woman who spent decades holding her family, and sometimes the entire town together. It's not just Maggie who's gone, it's the Harwoods, it's the shared history. It's a piece of Y&R's soul. And maybe that's why this storyline feels less like a goodbye, and more like a betrayal. For now, the fans are keeping the Harwood legacy alive online, swapping clips, sharing memories, and vowing that in their Genoa City, Maggie is still sitting on the porch swing with a glass of iced tea, ready to dispense hard-earned wisdom to anyone who asks. Because, if Y&R won't protect its history, the fans will. Thanks for watching this video and please subscribe our Update World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.